Hello and welcome to the next instalment of my TDI engine swap, where I'm taking the later diesel engine and put it in a Corrado. And in this instalment I'm going to be getting the engine out of the Corrado and hopefully the new one at least positioned into place. I had a real issue last night. Couldn't get the front end off because of the bonnet cable. Couldn't release. It ended up being the very end. Needed to gently grind it off with a Dremel to try and save the cable and all the other bits, because this is an obsolete part and it's really hard to get hold of. So I tried to take it apart the other way from inside on the cable and snap the little clip. Again, an obsolete part, very hard to get hold of, or asking big money for a little bit of plastic. So I'm going to do some research into that. Going to continue anyway, get the front end off, and then hopefully the engine out. I think I'm ready to mount the engine. First thing I've got to do is put some mounts on the back of the block and on the gearbox, so we've got somewhere to mount it. Now, the original one, a little bit dirty, a little bit oily, just fouls the bottom of the turbo, just catches on that little section there. This is still a trial fitment. Luckily, in my collection of stuff, I've got a mount which I temporarily modified in 2004 when I've done my first TDI conversion. That was a long time ago. I don't think anyone was doing TDI conversions then. It was 180s. That's when I put Mark IV non-PD engine into a Mark II, and that was fun to drive. I forgot to turn the camera on when I cleaned out the threads. Now I use something that's not quite a tap, it's more of a thread cleaner, thread restorer, because these two of the bolt holes have never been used on the block. They're just naturally corroded, filled up full of dirt, so give it a quick clean. Now that's strange, that one's actually knocking against the mount, whereas my other one didn't. I've ground a little bit more material off my test mount. Slight change of plan with bolts. Those ones are long enough. The ones I did want to use, fine for there, doesn't reach there, so I'm going to put a standard 2 in the top and 2 of the Allen heads on the bottom. Just going to make it easier when I come to put the actual mount back on. And then the mount looks like the original mount, looking at the part number, probably the factory Corrado one. Let's see how this looks very close to the VNT adapter. Does it overlap? I think it does just. So what we're going to do is just get a little bit of persuasion on it. I think when it comes to rebuilding the turbo or changing the turbo, I'm definitely going to have to think this one through. Just bend that bracket just a little bit. It's still very close. Okay, this is different from the previous one I've done, so remember it going straight in. I don't really want to take too much off there, but it is just a trial mount, but I still want it secure. And now the best bit, Postman Pat's bean. I brought me some mounts, the gearbox. There's a knife. Can't find mine, so I use Stanley's. Ooh, shiny. I presume it goes on that way. This is an O2M box into essentially a Mark III. And apparently requires no drilling, no welding, no adjustments. And I presume that's the one that goes on the front. I have no idea what that goes on to. There are no fitting instructions, so let's work it out. That's where the old one comes off. They seem to match that bolt hole. Let's move the camera around. Now, considering the sort of price they were, it would have been nice to have either some instructions or some bolts. It's come with 2 bolts for the front, which are big long Allen key ones. And I've just had to go and raid my little collection of bolts, and I can't really find anything. I've got one there. I've got to go and find two others there. Not exactly the ones I wanted. And they're about 50mm long. So that's enough to go through there. Bolt directly onto the casing. Quite happy the engine's more or less sat in the engine bay. I've got the front end just jacked up just to support it overnight, and I'm still going to leave the engine crane out because I've got a feeling the engine's going to come out, because in the next video I think this is going to involve this. If anyone knows what it is, well done. If not, wait till the next video, even though that part's unlikely to be fitted probably for some time. So if you want to see how I get on with this project, remember to like, subscribe and share the video with somebody. If you didn't like it, share it with someone you don't like. Thanks very much for watching. Again, I've been Crispy and this is one of my projects.